Okay, so this is the third example on, or example 3 on the surface area of prisms note packet. And so it's a word problem. It says, just the surface area of a triangular prism is 540 square meters. So this is our surface area. The bases are right triangles, that's helpful, with legs measuring 12 and 15. Find the height, and then find the height. So what I've written down here is just the surface area formula. We know that it's perimeter of the base times the height plus 2 times area of the base, and then right below that I just wrote this out in letters. Perimeter is P, height is H, and then area of the base is what B stands for, right? Well, we're still getting used to all these letters. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in the 540 for the surface area here. But then I don't know about you, I think it would be really helpful to have a picture. So I'm going to draw a right triangle. There's my 90-degree angle. And then I'm going to come up here. I'm going to draw another right triangle. So those are my two bases, and then what you do from there is you just connect the corresponding vertices, and there you go. You have, that's not the best one ever, but you have a right triangular prism. And so what we know is that we have the 12 centimeters and the 5 centimeters as the legs, not the hypotenuse. So if this is 12 and this is 5, how could we, because we're going to have to find the perimeter of that triangle, the perimeter of the base, how could we find the hypotenuse? Well, I hope you're thinking about my friend the Pythagorean theorem. And maybe you've even recalled that this is a triple. This is a 5, 12, 13. So that's going to come out to be 13. Okay, so now let's fill in what we know for this problem. We have 540 for the surface area. The perimeter, these triangle bases, the perimeter of those suckers is going to be 5 plus 12 plus 13 times my height. Now that's what I don't know, is my three-dimensional height, right? And so I'm just going to call that H. Okay, so what I have so far is perimeter of the base, that's that P right there, times the height is what we don't know. Okay, and now I'm ready to come over here and plus 2 times area of the base. So area of the base here, my bases are triangles, and that's how I know right here that I'm going to use 1/2 base times height because it's a triangle. So on a right triangle, we know the height and the base are those two sides that make up the right angle. They're the altitudes. So we're going to say 540. So 5 plus 12 is 17. 17 plus 13 is going to give us what? 30. H plus 2 times. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do some of that math magic here again. We're going to cancel out the 2 times the 1/2 because we know that's an understood 1. So I'm really just going to do base times height. And so my base is 5 times my height is 12, or in other words, 60, right? So this came from here, and this is those guys combined. Okay, so from here we have 540 equals 30h plus 60, and it's just a good old algebra problem that you're now solving for h. So I'm going to subtract 60 from both sides. Oops, so that cancels out. So let me come over here. I've kind of run out of room. So now I have 480 is what I got for 540 minus 60 equals 30h. Divide both sides by 30, and my height comes out to be, how about 16 centimeters, because the problem used centimeters. Okay, so that's how to do that one. Let's take a look at part B. Okay, on part B it says the lateral area of a rectangular prism is 96 square meters. what are the possible whole number dimensions of the prism if the height is 4 meters? Okay, so let's think about this. First of all, we know lateral area is equal to the perimeter of the base times the height. So in this case, what we know is we've got the 96 is my lateral area, so I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. My perimeter of the base, I don't know, so I'm just going to call that a capital P there. That's the unknown part. And then my height, I do know my height is 4. Okay, so from here, just like we did before, you're just going to solve for P. So that gives us 24. P equals 24. Now keep in mind, what did P stand for? It was the perimeter. What this question is asking for is the dimensions of the base. So if I have a rectangular prism, my length and my width are different, and so I don't know X or Y here, depending on how you're looking at this and what you're calling the bases, but I don't know my length or my width. So instead of calling those X and Y, let's call them length and width. How about? That's what it means by dimensions. So what we do know is that 2 L's and 2 W's have to add up to 24. So it's just a matter, guys, of finding the different combinations. I'm just going to plug these in. Let's see. If W is 1, then this would be 24 minus 2 of those 1's, right? 2 of whatever W is, and that would tell me what my L is, right? Do you buy that? So what I'm doing here is coming up with a table of values of what L and W could possibly be, because you can't technically solve this algebraically if if you have 2 variables. So here we would have 24 minus 2, so this one would be 22. Or what if it's 2? Then you could have 24 minus 4, in which case you would have 20. Or if it's 3, you could have 24 minus 6, which is going to give you 18. And we can keep going here. 24 minus 8, 24 minus 10, 24 minus 12. Let's see where that gets us. So if I go to 7, that gets us to 10. Oh, we're going to have to continue our chart over here. And by the way, I left out a key piece here. It's 2L would be what is left. So our true L that would be left, let me scoot this over. Our true L that would be left would be whatever these numbers are divided by 2. So we're talking about 11 and 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5. And yeah, at some point here we started to repeat, because look, I got 7 and 5, but I also have 5 and 7. So I think right here, these are our combinations that we could possibly have. We could have 1 and 11, 2 and 10, 3 and 9, 4 and 8, 5 and 7, or 6 and 6. And those are absolutely reversible. Okay. So a little bit different than the way we usually think about solving these things, because we had 2 variables, we had to make this table and just try different numbers. The last thing is I wanted to make sure you truly understood the difference between lateral area and surface area. So lateral area does not include the bases, and I can almost, by the way, guarantee you that this will be a quiz question at some point, versus surface area includes the bases. That's the big difference between those two. So this one's just perimeter of the base times height for the lateral area. Surface area includes lateral area, right? All of this is lateral area, but then you're just adding on to it also the two bases. Okay, so just to be clear, I want to make sure everybody understood the difference between those two.